Howdy folks, welcome back to another episode of Super Hamster Plays Kingdom Death Monster. As ever, do me a favour, hit the thumbs up button on this video, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well so you don't miss out on any further videos in this series or any of the other series that I'm currently playing. So, after our hunt of our white lion, this level 1 white lion, in the last video things didn't go exactly to plan. We picked up a few bumps and bruises along the way, a couple of minor injuries. Some people's sanity began to crack just a little bit. But on the plus side, the lion is well fed and is not looking for a fight at the moment. He's currently lying down with a fresh kill in front of him, chomping away. So the ground fighting rule is in play for the moment. We'll get to that in a minute. As ever with the white line, we have the 2 patches of long grass in play, and the 2 random terrain elements I drew are the fallen pillar, which will create a bit of an obstacle for us but not for him, so I just got it out of the way. And this one is an ore vein, which is a small mineral deposit of iron, and if we get a chance we can get over there and attempt to mine it. I used Gabriella's strategist fighting style, and we've brought the stone head into play, which I'm not actually convinced is going to help me a great deal because I don't have any ranged weapons at this time, but yeah, it breaks up the board, so what are you going to do? Oh, why's that there? I'll get rid of that one. Sorry, I couldn't see it. Bits and pieces left over from the hunt, which I've been doing back to back. Anyway, right. So the lion goes first, but because of the ground fighting, he doesn't draw any AI cards. He just sits there and does his thing until basically he gets disturbed. So it's our go, and Myth is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop there and not do anything. Again, lion's not that bothered. Gabriella's going to move into the grass here and spend her action to kneel down and disappear in the grass. Vola here is going to do exactly the same thing. Yeah, so that's her done. Sebastian, what's Sebastian going to do? Nothing. He's just going to move back to here. Yeah, he's all right now. And that's it. That's our turn done. Actually, I know it seems kind of cheesy, but what we will do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's our turn done. Again, lion still having his meal. Nothing happens. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and we'll try and mine the ore. 1 to 4. You find something shiny, gain 1 strange resource, and archive the terrain. So there you go. We've gained an iron resource. So we'll archive that. We'll archive that. Put that to one side, and we'll remember that we've gained a resource at the end of the adventure. Lion's turn again. Again, we've not disturbed it, so nothing happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll end our turn there. Lion does nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. End his turn there. Right. That's his turn done. They're not doing anything. Let's get this show underway. So the ground fighting state that the cat is in essentially says that if anybody spends an action point inside the 12 spaces around the cat, then it will interrupt their action and attack. Fortunately for Myth, because of his long spear, the king's spear that we made for him in the last one, he doesn't have to stand there to do it. So the cat is essentially asleep, And Myth's going to jab it in the sides. So he needs a 6. 2 hits. First location hits it in the scapular deltoid. And the one after that will be in its femur. Now, it's normally an 8, but Myth has a strength of 2, which drops that down to a 6. And he's got +3 strength from the spear itself, so he needs 3s. So for this one, he has wounded, that's a good thing. And this one, critical. Right, so that one, the failure thing doesn't kick in because it's not a failure. So we take a 1 wound. Because it's wounded, it now loses the ground state, or the ground fighting state. That's the word I'm looking for. Mood, they're called moods. And this one is a critical. Right, the critical cancels the reaction on this card. You bruise the white lion's femur, crippling its graceful movement. The white lion gains a -1 movement token, and you gain 1 random white lion resource. So first things first, the wound. -1 movement. Movement. It is. There's our lion with his -1 movement. And we gain a lion resource, which are just off to the side here. We've gained some golden whiskers. These whiskers are tough. There you go. We'll add that into the pile of things that we gained. Myth can now take his action and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's now the lion's go. No, actually it's not. It's their go. But because of that -1 movement, I'm thinking I'm going to wait there. So it's going to come for Myth and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's not going to be able to attack anybody this turn because it can't see Vola hiding in the grass, which makes for a nice ambush. So yeah, we'll wait there. Let him take his turn. A combo claw. Pick a target, the closest threat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're both the same distance. So we'll pick Myth here because it wants a bit of payback. Move and attack. So it will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't reach, doesn't attack. Oh, what a shame. Back to our go. We'll let Myth get in his hit in first. So 2 attacks, needing 6s. Both hit. First hit location is its knee. Second hit location will be its paw. So first wound, needing a 3. No. Second one, needing a 3. No. Failure. Perform the basic attack action at +2 damage. Ouch. So it will move up. It'll hit twice, hitting on 2s. Both hit. And it's at +2 damage, so that's 3 damage per hit. Where does he get to hit? Once in the chest, once in the waist. Well, the chest, he has no armor, so that would be 2 heavy wounds, knocking him down and then doing an injury. So we'll spend a point of survival and cancel that one. That drops us down to 1, and we will take the hit in the waist, which just knocks us down. But frankly, that's your own fault for failing to roll anything above a 2. So that's back. That was its reaction, wasn't it? So back to us. But that's drawn it in. So now Vola can hit it. She's got a sword that hits on a 6 normally, but she's got +1 accuracy, so she'll hit on 5s, and she gets 2 attacks. 1 hit, 1 miss. Where did we hit? In its main, which is impervious. Impervious hit location cannot be wounded. A wound or a critical wound will not remove AI cards from or defeat the monster. Okay, so we can't wound it. But if we can get a critical hit, we will gain the Shimmering Mane resource. If the attacker is insane, the sheer frustration can't. Is she insane? She is not. Can we get a critical? No. So it's got a lovely fluffy haircut, but we didn't do anything. Well, at least it doesn't attack back. Let's get... Yeah, let's get Sebastian round. So he's also got a bone blade, so that will hit twice on 6s. But because he's attacking in its blind spot, he'll hit on 5s. Both hit. First location is in its ear. Second location is its triceps. We'll start with the ear, which will be hitting on, where are we? Strength 2 for a bone blade, so we'll be hitting on 6s. Nope. Failure. The white lion jumps back. Without turning, move the monster 1 space directly away from the attacker. Cancel all resolved hits that are now out of range. So if it goes 1 directly away, it's going to go there, which is going to push him out of the way. And I can't remember what happens from the pushback. But either way, they're both now out of range. So let's find out what. I'll just pause the video and I will look up and see what happens to Myth. I've got a feeling he takes the level of the lion in damage, but we'll check. Okay, so he doesn't suffer damage, but he is knocked back 5 spaces because the monster's moved into his space. So he will move along the thing and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there he lands. Knocked down. But he was knocked down anyway. So that was Sebastian's turn. So Gabriella, what can you do with your knife fighting? 3 attacks. Hitting on 7s. Nope. Nothing at all. Not the greatest turn for her, but there you go. That's the end of our turn, so it's the lion's turn. And it grasps. Choose a knockdown survivor in range. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's in range. Closest survivor in range, right. So it pounces off, which will knock her over. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, which knocks her down. And then with 1 attack hitting on a 2. So yeah, where are we? Blah 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 blah. Yeah, 1 attack hitting on a 2+. Yes, does 1 damage. So that will hit him in the hand. He's got armor. Where's my pencil gone? There it is. Myth has got a point in armor, so that drops to a 0. After damage, the white lion isolates its prey. Full move the white lion away from all threats. Target suffers grab. So basically, it's going to pick him up and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and drop him down. So it's dragged him off, and he takes another point of damage, which in this case will be in the hand. So it's obviously bitten onto his arm and dragged him off. And that's the end of the monster's turn. So Myth will stand up. Gabrielle will stand up. Okay, what have we got in the way of options here? Myth's kind of isolated and somewhat on his own. 2, 3, 4, 5. At least he can get to there and he can still attack. So that's probably a start. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and stab with his spear. So yeah, two attacks hitting on 6s. Both hit. First one. Clever ploy. Trap. Reshuffle the hit location deck. The attacker is caught in the White Lion's ruse and is savagely mauled. Attacker is doomed. Performed the basic action targeting the attacker. Doomed. You may not spend any survival points until this card is resolved. Trap. Reminder rules. A trap cancels all the attacker's hits and ends their attack. When a trap is drawn, a knockdown monster will stand. After a trap is performed, reshuffle all the hit locations, including the trap card. So, Myth is doomed, and it's going to perform. Move up to there and hit him twice, hitting on 2s. And then you need to shuffle all of these. It's got it in for Myth, really, hasn't it? I mean, that's not going his way. Okay, so it cancels his hits, so it hits him. 1 hits for 8 points of damage in the hand. He can't spend any survival because he is wounded, and that will knock him down. That could have been worse. Okay, so as he's doomed, he can't do anything. He can't do anything else, but that ends his turn anyway, being knocked down. And he's no longer doomed because that dooming only occurs whilst the card is in play, and at the end of the card you shuffle it back into the deck, so he's no longer doomed. Well, what to do with this lot? Now, he's not a threat because he's knocked down, so chances are it'll now ignore him and come after these guys. So I'm tempted to move those there and hide back in the grass. And move him 1, 2, 3. So it's going to run up here to them. So we'll put him there. So the only person it can see is the knockdown Myth and Sebastian, who stood up. So yeah, so let's go back to the lion's turn. Vicious Claw. Pick a target, a random survivor in range. See, I was hoping it was going to go for somebody who's a threat. Yeah, it's going to attack Myth again. At least now he can spend his survival because he's no longer doomed. So 2 attacks, hitting on 2s. 1 misses. Where does the hit hit? In the chest. And it does a point of damage. And after damage, he suffers a bleed token. So we'll take a point of damage in the chest. And a bleed token. There's a little drop of blood. Could have been worse. If it has lost its hand, it can't do that. So we'll ignore that one. That's an AI card, goes there. And that's the end of the lion's turn. So he stands up. Okay, so it's our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's stand up. Let's hit it first, and then run, because hopefully this will work. So 2 hits, hitting on 6s. 1 hit, 1 miss, and we hit. It's playing with him, isn't it? So he's knocked down, he's doomed, and it hits him twice. Both misses! Not so lucky myth. And let's shuffle this one. And we'll ignore myth again. Okay. But he's not doomed. We'll let the lion go again. And hopefully it'll attack the nearest threat, which would be Sebastian. Terrifying roar. This attacks all non-deaf survivors. Roll a d10 per target. If the result is 2 or more and is higher than the target's courage, the target suffers 1 brain damage per monster level and knockback 6. Then perform a basic action. Target the furthest survivor in range. Right, so let's start with Gabrielle. So on a 2 or more. Yep. So she suffers point of brain damage, which is a roll on the brain damage table, because she has nothing. And there is the table. In a second. Okay. 9. New perspective. You were knocked down, but gain D10 insanity. Okay, so she gains 2 points of insanity. And then she runs 6 spaces. And is knocked down. Myth, what do you do? 2+, which isn't higher than his courage, so he doesn't care. So nothing happens to him. Sebastian is, so he will take, again, a roll on the brain table. And by brain table, I mean the brain trauma table. 6. A danger seizure. You thrash around wildly, dealing 1 damage to yourself and every adjacent survivor. Nobody's adjacent. Gain a random disorder and D5 insanity. So it'll take his point of damage in the hand. Does he have any armor in the hand? He does not. So he takes a point of damage in the hand. He gains D5 insanity. So that's what? 4 points of insanity. And gains a random disorder. How do we get disorders? Oh, actually, let's do his thing first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't get past, so we'll just collapse there. And let's do Vola, and then we'll come back to his disorder in a minute. Is she afraid? She's not. Okay. I will find the disorders now. Okay, so there is a deck of disorders, which I should know because I did one of these, I think, for somebody else. Can't remember who. Or did I? Maybe I didn't. But yeah, so you shuffle these, you deal 1 randomly, you write down its effects, and then it all goes back in the pile. Hyperactive. Whether you are running, fiddling with your gear, or pacing, you are always moving. During the showdown, you must move at least 1 space every round. Okay, and that's Sebastian, and he is hyper active, which means plus min move per turn. And we'll stick that back in the deck. So that was quite a terrifying roar. And what did it do then? Perform a basic action, target the furthest character survivor still in range. Still can't see her, can see those, and they're the furthest, but they're not in range. So I guess Myth is going to take yet another kicking. Basic attack, 2 attacks hitting on 2s. Both hit in the head and the hand. The head isn't a problem. Pencil, there it is. So that drops his armor down to 2. The hand is a problem. So I'm going to spend his last survival point to dodge that one. And that's the terrifying roar. So back to the humans, or at the end of the monster's turn, people stand up, or is it the next turn? It is the next end of the next monster's turn, so they don't stand up this turn. So, what could we do with Vola? I could shout and use the encourage action and get somebody up to their feet. That's somebody being Myth, who could then run, because he's getting a bit kippered there. That seems like a good idea. So we're going to spend a point of survival, dropping Vola down to 1. Shout, get up and run, you idiot. So he'll stand up. And let me just check the tall grass. Does that mean you're standing in space by tall grass, you disappear. To remove if you're not a threat until the attack or move. So it still doesn't know where she is. She's hidden in the grass. So I think she's just going to stay there. How are we doing on the damage cards? He's got 4. And there's what, 4 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm gonna stay hidden in the grass, I think. And Myth is going to. Do we stab and run? We can't get another trap card, can we? Right, let's stab and then run. So stab first, 2 attacks. 1 hit. Myth's out of survival points. I'm going to use his frenzy drink and put him in a state of frenzy, which, if I recall, gives him a whole bunch of bonuses. And the negative is he can't spend survival points, but he doesn't have any to spend. So let's double check on that one. Right, he gains +1 speed and +1 strength and D5 insanity. So we'll do the D5 insanity. 10. He gains 5. He's quite a nut job now. Okay. And he's on, where is it? +1 speed. I should get tokens, but I'm not going to. And +1 strength. So he gets another attack. Which doesn't hit. So it's just the 1 hit. Which hits in the beast's elbow. Right, and he's now wounding on 2s with that strength. which is lucky. So it takes another wound. And then he can have his turn and go, or finish his turn and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and retreat. Monster's turn. I'll do something silly. Enraged, another mood. When this card comes up into play, draw an AI. Whilst Enraged is in play, the lion gains +1 damage token per monster level. Ouch. A damage token increases the damage dealt. When a survivor suffers any dismembered severe injury or is killed, discard Enraged. So we'll leave that there, but we draw another AI. Power swap. Pick a target, closest threat that is in facing and in range. And I can't remember what facing. Is that the cone one or the flat one? Let's have a quick look. Determining target. Determining target. You can tell how often some of these come up. Closest threat facing and in range. So it is flat, which would be our friend Myth. So is it pick target in range? Move and attack. Speed of 1, attacking on a 2+. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it gets there, but that's all it can do as far as movement concerned, and then it's going to hit. So 1 attack, hitting on a 2, dealing 2 damage +1 because it's in range, so it's going to be 3 damage. It hits 3 damage in the head. He's got 2, he's got 3. So that gets through all of his armour and knocks him down. And where's this got? When you suffer a severe head injury. So he hasn't suffered a severe head injury yet, but he has suffered a heavy injury. It's almost cracked his skull helm. So that knocks him down for the heavy injury. And where is it? Power swap. Knockback 6. The target is knocked back 6 space in a straight line directly away from the monster. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and smacks into that, which is collision 1, which I think just knocks him down anyway, which he's already been knocked down, so nothing bad happens there. I think. I'll double check that one and I'll be back. Yep, he's just knocked back and he stops when he hits the terrain. So that is the monster's card. So these guys now stand up because that's the end of the monster's turn. And it's our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can't get these guys back into range. I'm thinking I want to get Vola out the way. Yeah, because she'll be hidden, so that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, and go hidden. Does tall grass block a line of sight? It does not, so it can see Gabriella. Which isn't a bad thing because she's a threat, so she might preoccupy it somewhat. Yeah, so if I go there, she is the closest threat and the closest survivor, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she's not the closest survivor, but she is the closest threat. So let's see what he does. Size up. Pick a target, a random threat in field of view. Pardon me. Intimidate the target. The monster stares down its prey, turns to face the target and roll a d10. On a 4 or more, the target suffers 1 brain damage per monster level and is knocked down. On a 4 or more. Nope. So she's dealt with it before. She's been screamed at. She's not that bothered. And that's the end of his turn. So now Myth stands up. So we need to get everybody stuck in now, don't we? It's not going. If we wait for it to come any closer, it's going to end up hitting people. Unless Myth climbs onto that rock, which gets him out of range. And when it limps over, yeah, let's do that. Let's have Myth climb up. Spend this thing to climb up there. So now these two are threats and can be seen. They can't. So it's going to run up and get one of these two. So unless it gets some sort of bonus to its movement, it's not going to do anything. Although, could I use Gabrielle to throw her founding stone? There's an automatic hit inflicting a critical. Well, we've got 4 of them and we're starting to get weapons. I don't think we need them. So, yeah, I'm going to spend her action and throw her founding stone. So there's that. We'll discard that. And we hit it in the tricep, which critical wounds. The torn muscle causes agonizing pain. Discard 1 mood card currently in play, which would be the enraged one. And the white lion is knocked down. While the monster is knocked down, all reactions are cancelled and all hit rolls succeed on a 3 or more. So we knock it down. We've inflicted a wound, which costs it an AI card. So that was a good one to do. And that might change whether or not we do stuff with them now. So they're hitting on 3s. So now will be the time to charge out and kick the stuffing out of it, because I believe monsters stand up at the end of their turn. But let's check that one. Right, so monsters are a bit different to survivors. They pick themselves up at the start of the next turn, whether it's a survivor's turn or a monster's turn. So if we don't act now, it is just going to stand up. So I think we're going to take this opportunity. And we're going to run up there and hit it twice. Hitting on 2s? No, 3s, wasn't it? Yeah, hitting on 3s. Both hit. 2 locations. One hits it in the ear, one hits it in the neck. So the ear does wound, and the neck doesn't wound. That's 1. And Sebastian's going to do the same. 2 attacks, hitting on 3s, both hit. Oh, we could do with a critical on that one. So the maw doesn't wound, and the flank does wound. There were reactions on both of those, but because it's knocked down, they're ignored. And Gabrielle threw the founding stone that triggered this whole thing. Slightly annoying is having done him first. I could have run up and stabbed, but there you go. So, Lion's turn. Lion stands up and draws one of 3 cards he has left and gives off his terrifying roar. He's miffed. Intimidate all targets. Roll a d10 per target on a 2+. Gabrielle is afraid. She suffers 1 point of brain damage. Fortunately, she went a bit loopy from the last time she got shouted at. So that drops her brain insanity down by 1. Myth. And does it need to... It has to be higher than his courage, which is 4, so he ignores it. Sebastian, again, I'll knock a point off of his current brain, his insanity of 4, and 1 off Bowler's. And then they all suffer knockback 6. So they move back to there, move back to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she's running away. So she's not doing a great deal of leading, but she's a child. It's her first go. And I can't think how many times I have checked this. But do they get knocked down? I don't think they do. Nope, they're not knocked down, so they just push back as far as they'll go, and then it performs its basic attack. So it will pick the closest survivor in its field of view. Well, its field of view is that one, so it is Myth. So it moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and can't get there. Terrible shame. And that's its turn. Player's turn. Well, Myth can poke out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he can charge up and attack it in the rear, which means he'll be hitting on 5. So we'll start with that, because if it goes wrong, he has evasion to help him out. Both hit. That's what I'd like to see. First one hits in its fuzzy groin, and the second one will hit in its scapular deltoid. Right, the fuzzy groin. It's a critical. It takes a wound, most importantly. And then we gain 1 lion testes resource. So he's charged up, and he has indeed chopped off its manly man parts. Also, persistent injury, lost ding dong. Your attack destroys the white lion's healthy genitals. The monster is livid. The monster gains +1 damage token. The attack permanently gains the priority target token. The white lion will attack them until the attacker is dead or the white lion is dead. No exceptions. Oh dear, Sebastian. You have upset the lion by removing his bits and pieces. And he'll now hit it in the beast's scapular deltoid. And I don't even know what that is. I'm guessing it's going to be a shoulder or some such. Right. 9. So that is a wound. Failure doesn't affect. So it loses that AI card. So the only one it has left is its terrifying roar, which could be a lot worse. And its fuzzy groin, which we'll leave out because it's a permanent injury, just to remind us. Myth has now got his big moment. Can he leap off there with his spear and finish it off? Does it say anything about spinning around? Because that would then hit it in the blind spot. Gains the priority token. No, doesn't say anything about that. Okay. So Myth, hitting on 6s. Got 1. That could be enough. In the femur, if he lands this, nothing happens. Because it'll still have 1. It just won't roar. And with his strength now, he's needing a 2. Which is lucky, because that's what he got. So it's lost its terrifying roar. But it's going to be 1 more blow to kill it. Now, can I get anyone close enough to finish it off? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Vola still has her founding stone. So if I throw that, that's one more hit. Automatic. Yeah, I think we're going to have to. We're getting pretty kippered at this point. So where's Vola? Let's spend her founding stone. There it is. One automatic hit. Anything but a trap, not the trap. Hit in the beast knee, causing a critical. The white knee twist unnaturally shatters. The white lion gains -1 movement. But that's not the important bit. The lion's dead. It was just if we gained any extra resources from chopping something off. We have killed the lion just in time, because I think Sebastian was about. You know, you don't go up to a normal lion and flick it in the love spuds with a wet towel, let alone going after a giant rhinoceros-sized one and hacking its love spuds off with a sharpened bone. It's not cricket. Right, so we have survived. So let's move these guys back out of the way. Let's clear the board and let's see what shinies we got from this one. Okay, so the rewards on this one are fairly straightforward, same as last time. Everybody gains 1 hunt XP. So let's fill that in for Vola, for Sebastian, 1 more for Myth, and 1 for Gabriella. Everybody gains 1 weapon proficiency level. I think everybody wounded it, but Gabriella doesn't have a weapon proficiency. Myth's certainly wounded, he gains 1. Sebastian doesn't have 1, but Vola did, so she'll gain 1 point. And then resources. We gain 4 basic resources and 4 white lion resources. So let's start with the white lion. How many did I say? 4, wasn't it? So we gain sinew, we gain white fur, we gain a claw, and we gain a curious hand. When you gain this, a random survivor gains +1 insanity. Who will that be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, re-rolling 9s and 10s. That would be Sebastian, who's gone back to being a bit of a Fruit Loop. And then we gain 4 regular resources. Now, where did I put those? Nowhere. I just hadn't got them out of the box yet. And we gain some hide, an organ, a something, and some love juice. And we'll put those away over there. We've also gained our golden whiskers from the fight and our lion testes. And where is the strange resource card? Which is a new deck for us. And we gained 1 piece of scrap iron. And that's us. That's what we've gained. Thanks for watching. Nobody's got any permanent injuries. Nobody's got any... Well, that's not true. Sebastian picked up a bit of hyperactivity, so he's going to be all twitchy from now on. I'm pretty sure, actually, I may have forgotten to move him on one of the turns. So I'll have to keep an eye out for that one. So if I did, tell me in the comments section. Tell me I got it wrong. I do read the comments. That'll remind me that I've got it wrong. So, yeah, so much. But yeah, in the next video, we will be doing our next settlement phase and gearing up a bit more with some of these resources, maybe hopefully picking up some innovations, maybe expanding the settlement a bit. We've got a leather worker or a weaponsmith, something like that. Start spending some of these more interesting resources like this iron. I think we've got enough stuff there that we can actually make a bow now, which will be nice because I could do with some ranged weaponry in the group, but we'll find out in the next episode. Thanks for watching this one. As ever, do me a favour, hit the thumbs up button on this video if you've enjoyed it, and if you haven't, hit the thumbs up video telling me to do better, tell me to up my game. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on this video or others, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Bye bye.